The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's presentation with your host, Todd Walters.
Thank you, Andrew. Welcome, everyone. All right, this is going to be a great platinum training session here. And it's going to be all about the things that you probably should be doing that you're not doing to build trust with the prospects that you're generating. All right, a couple of observations on that aspect. Most real estate agents will generate leads, close for appointments, meet with the client, take them on as a client, and then they begin to build trust. Okay? The problem with that is that the level of trust that your client has with you, the level of believability and how well you can help them will dictate your fee. Okay? For example, if you want buyers to sign an agreement with you that, where they agree to, let you collect your fee of 3.5%, when the MLS most of the time is at 3%, for example. A little less difficult for buyers because you tell them that, hey, we're going to get the seller to pay it, right? Okay, well, when you meet with sellers and you tell them that your fee is 7%, for example, a little more pushback because they're the ones paying it in their minds. Is that right? Okay, so therein lies the problem. You meet with a seller, you do an hour-long benefits presentation, and they don't really trust you. You might have a great benefits presentation, a good track record, you'll get the listing, but if you want to reduce the objections that you get and push back on your fee, if you want to reduce the amount of times that you go and meet with prospects, like two-step listing appointments, for example, cut those down to 1. And just get better prices on your listings. Then we've got to do a better job at establishing and building trust. No question about it. Trust-based marketing, you might say. There's actually a book on that I can recommend to everyone. Dan Kennedy wrote it along with another guy, Trust-Based Marketing. You might want to pick it up. So I wanted to get into all the various ways that that you have at your disposal to bridge that gap of trust while at the same time pre-selling the prospect on doing business with you exclusively, all in an effort for you to increase the amount of money that you make per transaction, okay, just by getting the fee that is optimal to you. It's not like you're trying to gouge the prospect or anything like that, right, or your clients. No. But you have a predetermined fee that is required to do business with you based on the level of value that you provide. So you've got to make a decision today what that's going to be. For most Platinum Program members that come into the program, and I sit down and we have a preliminary discussion about this, I just ask them, hey, if you were at my house today and we were talking about getting it on the market and I was interested in listing with you, you're right across the table from me, and I asked you, what's your fee? What's the commission? Most real estate agents will say 5%, 6%. And I'll say, well, why is that? And then they'll go on to say, well, that's pretty much what everybody else charges in my marketplace. And that's the wrong answer. Okay, letting other people dictate what you're going to charge is not a good business strategy, because what are you going to do when the fee goes down even more? So in order to be immune to that process, you have to be able to establish trust before you show up and meet with the prospects and close them on signing the agreement. Okay? They need to be pre-sold on you. They need to be trusting you before you ever show up. Believe that you're the right person to help them in their present situation and the best person to get them out of their present situation into the new one that they want. So let's look at some of the various ways that we do that. And we've got all kinds of tools here, great direct mail, gold program, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to take a look at several of those things. So I want to start out here by going to the coaching site. Okay, so I'm going to bring everybody back to cpcoaching.net, and under the library tab, okay, there are two tabs here. There's the Kennedy Library and there's the File Library. Everybody should be familiar with this. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the File Library. All right, so when I get into the File Library, the second category down on the left-hand side is Dan Kennedy material. All right, now, if you don't do anything else today, I want you to get in here and get into this Dan Kennedy material category. And I want you to take a look at the materials, because all of these materials should be a part of your follow-up systems to pre-sale prospects on doing business with you, as well as your other marketing and presentation systems to convince prospects you're the best person for the job. I know it's not a struggle for you guys to get business listings, once you get face-to-face with people. This is not really about that. Okay? It's not about that at all. This is about you getting the listing at a better price so that it sells and getting it at your optimal fee. There are only 3 ways for you to grow your real estate business, correct? That's right. Increase the number of transactions, increase the number of times that a client comes back and buys from you, and of course, increasing the amount of money that you make per transaction. So your job as the rainmaker, the team leader here, is to do all 3 of those things at once. Okay, your business should be working all 3 of those. Most real estate agents just work on growing the number of transactions. That's great. You can definitely quantum leap your business just doing that. But just imagine the profit levels you would have if you were making 1% or 2% more on every transaction. You get a real compounded effect there. And it's pure profit. 100% pure, unadulterated profit. And you need that. Okay, so in the Dan Kennedy folder, okay, library, file library, Dan Kennedy material, there's all these flyers, okay? Some of my favorite flyers are the agent selection guide, okay? So you're going to find those down here under 533, 552, 551, 550. Okay, so for example, let's go to the top 4 mistakes. Let's see if I can download that real fast. I don't have these up on my computer. And I'm not real big on a bunch of delays, but this one came up, so let me get that on the big screen here so we all can see it. So this is part of the agent selection guide. And about once a year, I'll do a webinar that you're looking at right now. Okay, I repeat this webinar about once every year. Looking at the same materials, talking about the same stuff. Been doing it now for the past several years. But yet, when I talk to real estate agents and members that have been around over those periods of times, rarely are they doing about what it is they're seeing. Some do, and those who do, their businesses explode. They get predictable results. For example, this document here, top 4 mistakes to avoid. Going with the agent who promises the highest sales price, choosing the agent who promises to save you money by discounting the commission rate, choosing the nicest agent, choosing an agent who works all by themselves because you think they'll work a lot harder and give you more personal attention. Okay? Results of these mistakes are. Okay, so not only is this great vocabulary for you, but this flyer into a seller prospect's hands who's interviewing other real estate agents, okay, does wonders for you and your business. All right, let's go back to the coaching site, and let's take a look at selection factors chart. Now, what we've discovered over years of doing this is that if you can get your seller prospects' hands working before you show up, flipping through materials, sifting through things in their fingers, their pencil is making a note of things. What questions should I be asking the agent before they show up? How important are some of these factors? Okay, this agent selection guide is a huge pre-selling tool. Number one, because we wrote the materials for you. So getting this in the hands of your seller prospects before you show up, especially if they're interviewing other real estate agents, huge leverage for you, okay, because your benefits presentation centers around these things. Okay, warning, not all real estate agents are the same. Common seller traps, okay, must have strong marketing systems, must have a well thought out list price, blah, 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 okay, must be likable and friendly. I must feel good about him or her. How important is that to me? Okay, so get some thinking about these things ahead of time, get them out on the table so that they're going to be less likely to say, I need to think about it when they meet with you, okay, and their brain is focused on other things. like making a decision and going along with your fee because you're establishing trust. Okay? All right, let's go back to the coaching site here, and let's just take a look at one more. I'm not going to go through all these because they're on the coaching site for you to go and access and pull out and use. All right? But the facts and answers is a big one. So I'm going to pull that out here. Let's download that bad boy. Okay, here we go. Facts and answers to selection criteria. Okay, so what you have here, you basically have flyers from my real estate business, these thinking that you're more than welcome to modify as much as you need. Okay? In fact, there's no substitute for proven aggressive and effective marketing. According to real estate consultant Bernice Ross, a lower commission does not guarantee you'll net more on your home sale. There's a big difference between just selling your home and getting your home sold right. So all of these flyers are part of the agent selection guide. Now let's back up here. You know what? I'll show you one more. Okay, now I know most of you have seen these before. Okay, but bear with me because I'm going somewhere with it. All right, so let's download that bad boy. And the blind archery story. It's a big story. Okay, this is pretty much the cover letter for the agent selection guide. And some of you are probably saying, agent selection guide, I've never even heard of that. Some of you are saying, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And some of you are saying, right on, Todd, I use that all the time, okay, before I show up on my appointments. Maybe it's part of your ultimate converter. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes as well. Okay, so let's go back to the coaching site here. That's just the agent selection guide down here. Okay, what about all these other things? These are all flyers. You know, what to do next, warning and shocking fact, our team approach, list to sell chart, 6 seller satisfaction guarantees, our proprietary services. Okay, all of these should make up preliminary selling, building trust, setting yourself up for success in terms of getting your fee. Not just the listing. I'm telling you, you're going to get the listings anyway. I really believe that you guys can show up and smile, and just by pure marketing, you're going to get 80% of the listings. It's not what this is about. This is about you getting 1 to 2 percentage points more, getting it all done in one step, many times even over the phone before, and you never even go in the appointment. Right. So let's go back to the library file, and let's click on the third link down, which is the Kennedy Library. Let's talk about that real fast. Okay. So what you've seen here is Craig sliced out what he called the Dan Kennedy mailings and the bomb sequence. Okay, and you can download these in Word formats. Now let me give you the story on this real fast. I know most of you have heard it before, so just bear with me. Okay, because some of you haven't. 2003, I get a call from Craig Proctor. Okay, it says, hey, how many leads did you generate last month, Todd? And I told him, it's around 1,000 leads. And he says, how many homes did you sell? I said, around 50 transactions last month. I remember the conversation very well. And he goes on to say, wouldn't it be great that if we could just generate a lead and send them something that was so compelling, they would just pick up the phone and call and say, come list me. You wouldn't have to generate 1,000 leads to sell 50 homes. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be a game changer, man. So Craig went to work with Dan Kennedy and a few others and put this, what we call the bomb, together. And it was basically a pizza box. And inside of it was all these mailings that you see, these flyers, CD, DVD, just all kind of a map of area home sales and other testimonial book, all these great things that when the seller prospect got it, they literally picked up the phone and said, come list me. The problem that we ran into was we overestimated the members' ability and motivation to go out and purchase these materials. Okay, so it would take literally about 2 months of pretty steady work and about $10,000 to get this bomb in place, materials ordered, so that you can send them out. It ended up being about $30 per bomb to get into a seller prospect's hand. And the majority of our members just didn't seem to be motivated to go and do it. They didn't have enough pain in their business yet to warrant it. Does that make sense? See, I was generating 1,000 leads. Craig was generating between 1,000 and 1,500. We had a lot of pain. That's a bunch of leads. Nobody. I don't wish that on anybody. Sounds great, But I'm telling you, it is a problem all in and of itself, calling back and dealing with that many prospects to end up with 50 transactions. Huge deal. 50 transactions, that's great. That's a great month. Everybody would agree with that. Nobody on this call would turn that away. But understand, it was about $100,000 a month just to keep the doors open to support that kind of business. And 1,000 leads and all those things, I'm telling you, it's not ideal. We want less. We launched the platinum level program because of these things that you're looking at right here. It caused us to generate less leads and get a greater outcome with less. Huge leverage. Okay, so if you're not utilizing these mailings and the sequence, okay, then you're really missing out. All right, now this is going along, it's doing really well, but we find out that the majority of members just weren't into spending the money. Okay, it's frustrating for me because I was like, man, it's a game changer. You spend $30, you're going to get the listing, you're going to make an extra 1%. 200,000, that's $2,000. You spend $30, you make 2,000. It's not a tough decision. Okay, that's how we were looking at it. Okay, well, so to help agents with that, I went to Dwayne Legate over at the House Buyer Network at that company at the time because we had a good relationship with him in our platinum level program. Excuse me, providing seller leads. So let me pull up that email here. In 1 second, I got all kinds of emails you can see. All right, so I'm going to throw this up on my screen. 1 second. Take up the whole screen here. And I went to Dwayne. I said, hey, look, we've got this bomb. It's really cool. We got all these great things, these flyers, DVDs, CDs, testimonial booklet, all these great things. Can you build it out for me online? Can you build it out for me online? So, because the members don't want to pay $10,000 just to get the thing started, can you put it on an online system so that everybody can use it that way? And what would it be? So he worked for a couple of months and came back to me and says, yeah, I think we can do that for you platinum guys. It would, you know, a couple $100 a month, and they can use it. They can send out as many as they want via email. And I'm like, holy crap, that's pretty good. So anyway, I gave him the green light on it with Craig's approval, and they took all of the bomb materials and put them online in its own interactive website. We changed the name to the Ultimate Converter. So everybody should be familiar with that. And if you're on this webinar right now and you don't have that, that's a huge mistake for you. You need to get it and use it. Okay? Now, here's why. Okay? On your screen, you're looking at an email. And this is the way it should work. You talk to your prospect over the telephone. Okay? Since you generated the prospect, you've probably been following up with them. Okay, right? The majority of your prospects do not turn into immediate appointments. Is that right? Okay. So you generate the prospect, and then some time goes by that you're following up with them, making phone calls, trying to get them back on the phone, gauging their motivation and timing again, right? So look at this timeline. How long is it? Well, over that timeline, they should be getting from you these things. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the coaching site. I'm going to go back to the file library. And I'm going to go back to Dan Kennedy material. They should be getting some of these flyers from you. They should be. Along the way. Every week, something in the mail, in their mailbox, that touches them with incredible offers that these flyers offer. Okay? For example, let's take a look at this one flyer called Our Team Approach. Right, I'm going to pull that bad boy up. What happens from listing to sale? Okay? And then I've got a testimonial down here on this bad boy. I've been a marketing consultant. Todd Walters knows marketing. Okay, so that is a very good flyer. It's getting in their mailbox along with some of the others. And if you want to get an idea of how you can piece these together, okay, well, I showed you that. That's in the under library in the Kennedy library, not to be confused with the Dan Kennedy material. So we've got DK mailing number 1, for example. Now, you may very well not send all of these things to your seller prospect. Okay, so let's There's a cover letter, and you saw the envelope cover letter. You got the radio interview CD, the testimonial book, okay, the agent selection guide. You can see what these things are supposed to look like right here on your screen, and you can duplicate them, download them in Word formats, okay, and go to work on it. But that's a pretty sizable mailing there, so yours may be a little smaller. You're going to play around with it. But the fact is, you generate the lead, and over time that you're following up with this lead, you need to brand them. Many of you are trying to take shortcuts and, sending a bunch of emails, and that sort of thing, and I just don't know how effective that's going to be for you when you walk into a seller's house and you want them to put their home on the market at the right price, and you want them to pay you 1% to 2% more than all the other agents out there, plus a transaction fee on the front end and the back end. So if you're having problems getting those things done, it's because of lack of value and trust, in my opinion. Because we've proven that when you take advantage of these materials here that we have, you make more money per transaction. Okay? So while the follow-up material is being mailed, and a few flyers here and there getting mailed to them, very important because it focuses on them and it focuses on their home sale. Okay? Now, I get on the phone with the prospect and I actually get the appointment now. That process has helped me get the appointment. Okay? Now what? Well, when I hang up the phone with the prospect, I'm going to send them this email that you're looking at on your screen. Okay, this is an appointment confirmation email that everybody has access to. Okay? This appointment confirmation email pre-sells the prospect on me before I show up. So what we do here is we take all of those Dan Kennedy mailings and we get them all in one place at one time. And we put the shock and awe on the seller prospect at one time before we show up at the most critical moment. Everything we've been talking about and doing over the last few days, few weeks, few months with this seller prospect, boom, he gets it right then and there before we show up at his house with this ultimate converter. Okay? And you can see it's a special link there. All right? So we're going to talk a little bit. I know some of you guys are getting a bunch of questions on it, and I'll walk you through it here just momentarily. I'll show it to you. So slow down, bear with me. We've got another 30 minutes or so to go. But they're going to get this email. It's great talking to you on the phone. I'm looking forward to meeting you Saturday at 10 at your address there. When we get together, this is what's going to happen. Okay? And I've prepared a special online home seller kit for you. Check it out. You'll see how to get more money when you get ready to sell. So the prospect will simply click on the link in the email. Okay, now this links to the ultimate converter. All right, so let's talk about that real fast so I can get it out of the way. So bear with me for about 5 minutes so we can talk about this. Remember what I told you the ultimate converter was. It is the direct mail bomb huge box that we would send, but it's all online and it's you. It's customized to you. It's a couple $100 a month. That is all it is. Unlimited use. I can send 100. I can send 1. I can send them before I go on appointments. I can send them after the appointment as an autopsy. I can send them to out-of-state people that are coming into town. I can send them to out-of-state people that I'm never meeting with. It's a great tool. Everybody should have one. Okay, we set the whole Platinum program up around those Dan Kennedy materials so that you could generate less leads and convert more. So everything I'm talking to you about today goes back to the foundation building block of this program. All right, so you can see that's a pretty good email. Everybody's had a chance to read it while I'm talking. All right, so I'm going to click on the link. I'm going to pretend I'm a seller prospect. I click on the link. Okay, that's going to open up here the ultimate converter. Let me see if I can. Welcome. Please find the desktop collection of important information about the sale of your home. For most people, the sale of their home is one of the You stop that. We're not going to do a huge demo. I'm not trying to sell you guys the ultimate converter and all that kind of stuff. But I know a few of you probably don't have it, so I'll tell you how you can go ahead and get that rolling if that's something you want to do. All right. But look. My job now is to convince this prospect why he should choose to do business with me over and above anybody else, number one. And number two, why on earth he's going to pay my fee when I sit down in front of him. My fee is 1 to 2 percentage points above everybody else. Okay? Our commission 7%. And we just need $495 to get started today. Plus, when it closes, there's a $495 transaction fee. Okay, so that's a pretty hefty nut that I would not expect prospects to pay if they don't know the value. So think about it. We've been building up to this point. Now that we generated the prospect, we've been pre-selling them over time with those Dan Kennedy follow-up flyers. Maybe he's getting my my newsletter on my referral marketing newsletter, maybe a Best Buy of the Week email. Okay, but primarily I've been feeding his mailbox with a great message here of what we do over and above everybody else and why it's better and why he can trust us. So now, before I show up in the appointment, this is what he gets, a home seller kit. Okay, and it's online. That little welcome audio message that you heard, yep, that starts playing. I cut it off with, and then I just plug in my performance guarantee or my unique selling proposition. Okay, so now here's the presentation, and it's a desktop presentation. Okay, there's the radio interview. Okay, so let me click on that, and I'll tell you how.
Metro Atlanta Real Estate Today, giving you the best information available on the real estate.
Okay, and I can't play the whole radio interview, but the radio interview is big because now when I do the radio interview with Shy, I can use that in other marketing, direct mail. I can put it on my website. I can do podcasts with it, and of course, obviously, it's making its way on this Ultimate Converter for sure. It's one of the cornerstones. Okay, so it's a mock radio interview with a real radio host that I did with Shy Schwartzman. That you can do. Shy offers that. It's part of his deal. For cheap, it's easy, doesn't cost much at all. You can reproduce the CDs there and stream the audio right there on your Ultimate Converter like I've done. All right? So I'm going to close that window and get back to the presentation here. Okay? This welcome letter here is just a cover letter. It's the same cover letter that was in the direct mail version, but it's right here online. Okay? And just tells them exactly what they've got access to and why they need to pay close attention to it. Right? In this folder are the flyers. Okay? All of these bullet points are flyers from the Dan Kennedy library, the materials. And you can change them out, put in there whatever you want. Okay? I set this demo up just with these flyers so you guys can check it out and see it. Okay, this right here is proof of result. This map of area home sales up in the upper right-hand corner there, huge leverage. Just the fact that you can demonstrate that we've helped a lot of people around town. This is kind of like the home hunters. Sellers want buyers, buyers want sellers. This kind of proof here is paramount to them. Okay. You may be competing with a neighborhood expert. So when you're pre-selling your prospects on doing this, and you're trying to get them to trust you, and it's an experience and track record that you're going to talk about when you do your benefits presentation, that's great. But understand, you're going to be hitting them with a lot of information at one time when you do your benefits presentation. So we want the presentation in an interactive format to get to the seller before we get there. That's why Craig invented the bomb. So I'm putting it online so you can use it at your disposal with the help of House Buyer Network, by the way. So map of area home sales, tremendous leverage. Okay, and then of course one of my favorite tools is the video. I'll just click on it here and it'll play for a second. Now I'm gonna pause that. Everybody on this program today should have a DVD that promotes your business. I could do an hour-long presentation on how to put together a good DVD, or you can just watch the one that I've got here and just copy it. It's got testimonials, unique selling propositions. All right, so there's going to be some issues with it streaming through, so I'm not going to go on and play it here. But I'll give you guys a link. You can go check it out and do your own deal there, no problem. Okay? And then over here, remember the agent selection guide? There it is. That's the agent selection guide. We put it all right there. Once it's so good that I wanted to I asked Dwayne, I said, highlight that for me on the laptop, but also put it on the menu board. Okay, because we want to draw close attention to those things, right? And then, of course, what to do next. You know, call me and start packing. All right, so that's really good. Now, recently, I don't know if you know this, but recently they added where you can link some YouTube videos down here at the bottom of your Ultimate Converter. So let me tell you a video that would be really good for you to do. Okay, listen up. This is really good. Listen. A video that shows the inner workings of your real estate office, kind of like a backstage tour of how you do things. Interviewing your administrative people, what their job is, and how the seller benefits. What it is they do every day. Just a short little video of the inner workings, the back strategy of your real estate business, the parts that the seller prospect will never see. Yes, that's an absolute jackpot gold mine for building trust, knowing how things work. Okay? Big friggin' deal. Trust me. Remember that you list a home and then there's a customer service manager that probably takes care of the seller along the way, right? Okay, well, check it out. They never see the customer service manager, right? So this is your chance for them to see them and get to know them a little bit. Now, this is a video of me talking about our 6 seller satisfaction guarantees. So let's suppose that you're delegating listings to somebody on your team. You're going to want a video in here as the CEO or team leader or whatever your position is, broker, owner, whatever, and you're going to want to give reassurance to them that your team members are highly qualified and trained. Okay, so you may be looking for the script for that. All right, let's go back to the coaching site. And I'm going to take you right there. Bear with me 1 minute. I'm doing this in real time. It's going to be warning in shocking fact, I think. Let me find it here. Oh, that's Dan Kennedy material. And I'll give you the ID number on this so you guys can go check this out. I think it's warning in shocking fact. Let's take a look at it. ID 565. Nope, that's not it. It's warning. So let me go back to the coaching site, and it's ID 564. So he's warning something. Warning, shocking fact, warning, whatever. All right, so ID 564. Because you're looking for a video if you're the team leader and you're delegating listing appointments. This is it. Okay? This should be the script for that video. Right? Because one of the things that your competition is going to throw at you is that they're not going to get you, the team leader. They're going to get one of your flunkies or assistants or buyer's agents, right? So you've got to convince the seller, the client, no. These are highly trained professionals, specialists that you've handpicked and trained, that you work side by side with. They're your partners in this business. They're best equipped to help the seller in their present situation. So this flyer here that I gave you the ID number on is the script for that video. So let's go back to the Ultimate Converter, okay? And that's what the video should be. There's just I highlighted a few testimonials and put them into a video down at the bottom. So anyway, that's the Ultimate Converter. Now, a couple of things I really like about this. There's a couple of things I don't, but there's a couple of things that I do like. All right? I know you guys got some questions here. Just hang on. We'll get to them in a minute. Let me go back to my email here. I'm learning how to use all this technology while you guys watch. Right? See here, the Smiths, I just use that name out of the blue. When you get the Ultimate Converter from House Buyer Network, I don't know how they do it. I really don't know how it works. I just know that it works. You just pick out a URL. In my case, I picked out cashoffers.net. That's my URL. I registered it with GoDaddy. And then I forwarded it to the Ultimate Converter that I got. That's how simple that was. That cost me like $8. Done forever, just renew it every year. And then, whatever the customer's name is, all I do is put it in front of the URL, in front of that dot, and it automatically customizes that Ultimate Converter to the seller. automatically does it on its own. That's pretty slick. I don't have to know. I don't buy a bunch of URLs every time there is one. I have one URL, and all I do is just type in front of it the customer's name. All right, so let's go back to the email there. Pretty impressive, huh? You like that? Found my window. All right, so seller gets it. They will click on the URL because it's a PURL, personal URL. Okay, and they'll click it. And when they click it, the Ultimate Converter pops up, does its thing, telling your story, pre-selling the prospect on you, and you don't do anything. So let's kind of just look at this real quick, and then okay, all right. Well, hold on. Let me give you this URL because this is getting a lot of questions here. You know, I didn't really expect to do that. Let's see here. Hang on one second. Here's a sales slide. Okay. So anyway, if you don't have the Ultimate Converter and you want to get it, here's the price and there's the URL. You're welcome to it. I'll leave that up just for a couple of minutes. Write it down. Marketproofrealestate.com. All right, marketproofrealestate.com. Don't call this person. All right, that's Jeannie at my office. Call this person. Janice at the Ultimate. Quit looking, because I can't type when you're looking. Burger.com. All right. So Janice at theultimateconverter.com. Okay. Or you can just go to the URL there, marketproofrealestate.com, and you can get it. It's $199, I think it is, what they charge. Okay. Marketproofrealestate.com. See it down there? Write that down. Now, a couple of questions I'm going to answer, so we don't have to answer them when we go to the Q&A. We can talk about some other things on this deal. Is that, yes, when you get the Ultimate Converter, it comes a little more generic. So let me throw it back up on the screen. Okay, this one's customized to me as a demo. We use it as a demonstration. Okay, this one's customized. Okay, your radio interview is a little more generic. Your video that's already done for you, a little more generic. Everything comes already done for you. You just pop in your picture and your logo, and you can go. You just need to decide what your performance guarantee is going to be, and somebody's going to help you with the setup, so don't worry about it. Okay? So anyway, I wanted to get that out there because there's always questions about that. And look, I want to, if you've already got this, I'm sorry I'm not trying to sell it to you or anything like that, but it is a good chance, I guess, to revisit some of these things and use it. All right? And you can you can look at this screen right now. You can write down this URL if you want to use my that demo there as kind of your template for customizing your pre-selling system. Then write down that URL, the-smiths.cashoffers.net. You can write that down. Okay? Type it into your web browser exactly as you see it. No www. Again, no www. Just type that into your web browser, the-smiths.cash. Okay. And you can go and you can use that as a demo to customize yours if you want to do that. Okay? So again, if you're, for the sake of time, if you want that, marketproofrealestate.com. Again, House Buyer Network, they built that. Okay, they built this for Platinum members. This was done for Platinum Program members. Okay, I'm under your assumption that all of you have it and you use it. Okay, and if you're not, shame on you because it's a great pre-selling tool. All right, so let's back up just a little bit and let's talk about kind of what we've done so far, so we can all get together on the same process. All right. The idea is to generate trust. Why? So we can turn all of these seller prospects into come list me's, but not just a come list me, but a come list me where we get a higher commission. Okay? My wish for all of our Platinum Program members when they come into this program is to give themselves a pay raise on day one. So when I talk to new members after every conference, we'll have 5 or 10 or 15 new members join the program, usually coming from the coaching program or something like that. When I get with them one-on-one, that's where we start. Hey, let's give yourself a raise. What can we do to generate more income right away? Okay, no, I know you're focused on more closings, and that's good, but you need money today so that when the new closings come, you're going to be getting paid more on those, and you get a compounded effect, a quantum leap in your real estate business. This is why, for those of you guys that have been in the program for a while, you'll see these members literally just come out of nowhere. You know, they come in making $150,000. At the end of the year, they're making $350,000. Like, where did this guy come from? That's how. Compounded effect doing those things. So you want to give yourself a permission to get a pay raise. The easiest way to do that is to take all the prospects that you generate from your unbranded or branded marketing and build trust from that day forward. Can you build trust over the telephone? It's really hard. It's much easier to do it in their mailbox and online. Okay? They're not talking to you, but they can read about you. They can see about you. They can learn about you without you being involved. You can have others telling your story. Okay, so it looks like this. You generate the lead. We generate the lead, okay? While we're following up with the lead on the telephone, they're going to get some materials from me. They're going to be direct mailed. Some of these flyers. Oops. Sorry about that. Pull that back and go. All right? They're going to be direct mailed some of those flyers from the website. Go back there we go. Okay, I get to select the flyers. If I want to really see how it's packaged up, okay, I'll go to the Kennedy Library and I'll look and see how Craig was sending out the flyers. Oh, I don't have some of those things, a DVD and an interview. Okay, well, I'm going to substitute it with something else. Okay, so how do I do that? And then you practice on me. Hey, Todd, here's what I'm sending my seller prospects that I'm generating in terms of some mailings. Now, let's talk about the goal plan. Some of you guys are using the goal plan, okay? And I understand that. We intended for the Dan Kennedy flyers and the material to take the place of the goal plan. That was our intention because it's better. It has a better message, unique selling proposition driven, performance guarantees, proof of results, and all those great things that you need instead of just touching the prospect. Okay, so these things do that. All right, so just want to get that in there. All right, so they're getting these things. I finally booked the appointment. So whether I booked the appointment the first time I called the prospect or whether it took me 3 months, I finally get the appointment. A compilation of everything that they've been getting or would have gotten sent to them at one time, a pre-selling system. And I like what you're looking at here. This appointment confirmation email with a link to your ultimate converter, okay? So that they can use it on their own time. Right? If I could wave a magic wand, it would be the bomb. But that was a little pricey for everyone. Nobody seemed to utilize all that well, so that's why we broke the materials up to be used individually, and we had HBN set it up as an online system. I go on the appointment. I don't get the listing. He still wants to interview some other agents. No problem. He's got the agent selection guide. They interview the other agent. They end up calling me back, okay? Or what usually happens is as soon as I get back to my office from the appointment, I'm going to send them the ultimate converter again. It's a similar email, but instead of an appointment confirmation email, it's an after appointment thank you email, and still gives them a link back to the ultimate converter. Because I don't want to assume that they saw it the first time, that they really studied it. Maybe they want to compare the agent that they're interviewing now with some of my stuff. Okay, so we get to use it before and after. All right, so, okay, I'll give it to you again. Marketproofrealestate.com if you don't have it and you want to get it and get signed up for it. Oh, crap, almost forgot. I did talk HBN into, for Platinum members on that Ultimate Converter, when you get it for $199, you get RBID and listings by noon. Where is it at here? I think I've got it on this slide here. You get RBID and listings by noon for free. There it is. Okay, so you get the ultimate converter, wherever it is right here, but you also get these other things for the same price. They just bundled it and threw it in there because it, that wasn't really costing them any money at all, because they're just online systems that you can use. So anyway, I wanted to let you know that. So it's a pretty good value, and I appreciate Dwayne doing that for us. Okay, but yep, you get all that for $199, and you're welcome to go and grab it at marketproofrealestate.com. I do prefer, I am biased, I would like every Platinum member to be using this system because I know what the results would be, and it's easier for me to help you, okay, in terms of a coaching platform. If I know that you're doing everything necessary to get the pay raise that you want. Would you invest $199 a month to make an additional $8,000 or $10,000 in additional income? That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Additional income being more commission. Okay. All right, so that's a really good way for me to level with you on pre-selling your prospects, turning them into come listings. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to throw this slide up there, but I'm going to bring Andrea on because I know we've got a few questions, I think. But let me, Andrea, why don't you tell everybody if they've got a question here about anything that we've talked about today or some other thing they want to ask, and then we'll take any of that. Tell them what to do so we can get their question in there. I've got a few other things to share with everyone, but I think right now would be a good time to get some questions in.
Yes, sir. All you have to do is click the hand icon you see on your audio control panel, or you can type your question in the chat box. Just answer a few. Yes, this is being recorded, and it will be placed on the Platinum website and also emailed to all the Platinum members who have an email address on file within a few hours of the session ending. And we do have some hand raised, so whenever you're ready, would you like to start now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Pawan Sharma, your mic is open. Did you have a question? Yeah. Pawan? Okay. I think we'll go on to Vic Makarian. Your mic is open.
Yeah, hi, Ted. This is Vic Markarian.
Vic, how you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir. I just have a question, please. I want to know, I'm getting a new office, and if I put on the window in the front of the office, free service, find out what your home is worth online, and put, like, for example, Burbank or Glendale, homeeval.com. Is that a good idea to put in the front, or put like something like your expert real estate agent making your transactions easy? You know, I was just wanted to get an idea for putting something like that. I don't know if it's connected with our webinar today or not.
No, that's fine. You can ask any question you want to. I'm here to help you. It's an interesting question. There are quite a few Platinum members that have sidewalk frontage, road frontage. They'll use sandwich boards or billboard type signs out front, big signs, and they'll put an offer out there. Most of our members typically put out some sort of unique selling proposition or something that brands them, like your home sold, or I'll buy it, or whatever your performance guarantee is. I don't recommend a tagline. I recommend an offer of some kind. Like if you were going to put a performance guarantee, like your home sold or I'll buy it as an example, then you would follow it up with, to discuss the sale of your home, call Todd at, and you give your phone number. Okay, that's one option. The other option is, like you said, a little more less branded offer, like, find out what your home is worth online for free. Don't talk to a real estate agent. And then hopefully people write down your address and that sort of thing. Maybe you could put flyers out there, or that would make that offer. They could take it with them. You're just going to have to play around and see which one gets you the biggest bang for your buck there on it. Whether it's you want to promote yourself, your brand, which would be your performance guarantee. Okay, I recommend everybody build a brand around a unique selling proposition, not a logo.
Yeah.
Okay. Craig's brand was, he's the guy in Newmarket that would buy your home if it didn't sell. That was Craig Proctor's brand. Okay. So
if I say
that was my brand. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, sir, I interrupt you. If I say move up to my listing and I will buy your home, is that something to put on the window, or that's not a USP type?
Say it one more time. Move up in one of my listings, I'll buy your home for cash.
Move up and buy my listing and I will buy your home. Not for cash, but I will buy your home.
Right, you could say move up to any one of my listings, and I'll buy your home for cash, okay, or I'll buy your home, whatever. Then you got to tell people what you want them to do, okay, to discuss the sale of your home, call, you know, you and your phone number. You got to make sure there's a call to action associated with it. The only issue is where are your listings? That's a great headline in a USP ad where you feature your listings. Okay, it's a great headline. Absent the listings, then it might be a little bit confusing. I don't know. I would probably twist it around and say your home sold or I'll buy it. If you don't have any listings to present to them in that advertising format. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yep. But try both of them. Make your branded offer and make your less branded offer that doesn't involve you, like the home evaluation offer that you mentioned.
And which one you would pick if you were me?
I'd be doing both. I would absolutely have both out there.
Okay. And thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Great question.
That was our only question in the queue. We have no questions pending.
Okay. Hey, don't be shy. If you guys have something you want to say, raise your hand, ask a question, and we'll do it. All right. So let's get back to the coaching site. I want to talk just a little bit more about building trust, turning these prospects into come listings. Okay? All right. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of people want to try to take the easy way out on this thing, but I want to put things into perspective for you. How much is a real estate commission worth to you? Okay, so let's suppose that you're the average agent selling the average house. 3% commission on a $200,000 listing. And $200,000 listing, 3%, that's $6,000. Okay, for me, we would want to get 5%. Okay, at least 4, but 4 to 5%, not 3, which means our commissions are 7 to 8%. Okay, that's what we want. And we want a transaction fee to boot on the front end and the back end. And nobody can say you can't do that because we got plenty of members that do exactly that. Plenty of them. They're on the webinar now. I can see the names. I know who they are. But that happens as a result of building trust before you show up and close asking for the fee. All that is systems. Systems that pre-sell you on the prospect before you show up. That's going to include what you say in your phone calls, what they get in their mailbox, and what they get via email from you before you show up. That's it. So hopefully we did a really good job of laying that out here. Generate the lead. They're going to get some mailings from me if they're a longer-term prospect, especially some of those flyers from the Dan Kennedy material link right here, okay, on the coaching site. Under categories, Dan Kennedy material, there's all the flyers, okay. What sequence? I can't send all these flyers, Todd. Well, don't send them all. You're going to send 2 or 3 of them at a time, okay. Here and there, pick out the ones that you want to use when you want to use it. You can go back to the library, click on Kennedy Library, and you can see some examples of sequence marketing. So that's happening while my phone calls are being made. I get the appointment. There's no way I'm going on the appointment without the seller prospect getting my bomb, which in this case is the ultimate converter. Okay? And that's delivered via email with a link through the appointment confirmation email. So before I've showed up, they've gotten that ultimate converter for me, and they are pre-sold on me. It's done. It's over. I'm getting the listing anyway, but now I'm winning the battle of getting that extra 1 or 2% and at the price that I want and eliminating my competition. Just eliminating them altogether. Their need to interview other people just pretty much goes away now. Okay? That's what this is about. So that's that system to get to that point. But it's all about establishing and building trust ahead of time. Okay, so one more parting comment on that. The best way to build trust is to have other people do the selling for you. Okay? Your testimonial booklet, okay, whether it's here on your ultimate converter, okay, or whether it's in DVDs, videos, okay, whether it's proof of past performance and results demonstrated in real time. But all of those things are necessary to be able to establish trust so you can secure that higher fee when you show up there. Now, I want to be real clear on that. I'm not advocating that you go out and overcharge people. Okay, you can't do that anyway because the marketplace will dictate what you can get. But everybody on this webinar at this level, there's no way you should be getting the same commission that the average agent that just got their license last week and showed up gets. Just no way. If that's happening to you, Shane, that just shouldn't be happening. Okay, you are not communicating the value if people are pushing back on it. So start with asking, just telling people what your fee is. So if you've been charging 6, now you charge 7. And just say it. And then deal with the feedback, pushback, or whatever it is that time, because you can always go down if you need to when you're there, right? And then begin doing things like you've seen here today to increase the value and perception of value that you offer so that when you do close for your fee with these sellers, right, there's no pushback and no objection. All right, so that's pretty good strategies there. We had another question there, Andrea?
We do. We have a few or a couple chat questions. Our first from Christian Richard. When exactly do you send the bomb?
Okay, so let's take a look at that, all right? We've got two things going on. We've got everything that we can direct mail, and we've got everything bundled up into one thing that we can email, which is online, the Ultimate Converter. So we have everything broken down in bits and pieces that we can direct mail, either all together or break it up in bits and pieces over a period of time, and we can direct mail it. Okay, so let's deal with that first. When we generate a seller lead, and either based on my rules, the seller lead looks and appears to be golden, high level, we may activate a direct mail campaign immediately. Some other seller prospects, we wait until we talk to them to start mailing them anything. Okay, that's how that will work. He's going to get the Ultimate Converter, this bomb, this online bomb, immediately upon booking an appointment. When I set an appointment with him, he's getting it in his hand, okay, because he's getting this email that you see, appointment confirmation email. And then if I don't get the listing on the spot, he's going to get it again the next day after I meet with him, because I'm going to use it as leverage when I follow back up with them. Okay, so that's when it gets sent, how those things get sent. Hopefully that answers the question effectively. If not, zip me an email at tw@toddwalters.com. Ask me again in a different way. Maybe I'll call you and we'll figure it out. All right. So anyway, this is a sales slide. Let me put that on my computer. This is a sales slide I just threw up here. This is from House Buyer Network, guys. So put this up here so that you can, if you guys want to get that, you can. It's entirely up to y'all. I don't know. It's kind of tough to be sending all that stuff around without it, but I know some of you guys, are doing other things. But anyway, wanted to throw that up there as a courtesy to them and to help you as well. Next question.
Yes, sir. From Vince, is there a buyer bomb or is this just for sellers?
That's a good question, and the answer is there is a buyer bomb. All right, so pay very close attention. Okay, I'm going back to the coaching site. I'm going to the home page. And down here, in the lower right-hand corner of the home page is a box that says Platinum Webinars. I'm going to click on Platinum Webinars. And when I click on Platinum Webinars, I get this drop-down menu. Oh, hey, while I've got you, Andrea, when we put a recorded session up here, we want to tell everybody what we talked about. So we need to title it with something.
Okay,
So
I'll get with Adrian so he can change the programming on that.
Yeah, he won't know. Yeah, well, he won't know what to call it unless we tell him. So if you don't know what it is, just ask me, and we can do that. All right. So in this drop-down menu on all these webinars, there is a buyer bomb in here somewhere. And you're going to ask me where it is, and I'm going to see if I can find it real fast. VIP buyer systems. It's in here somewhere. Okay, it's in here somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I'm not going to stare at the small print in here and tell you right now, but yes, there is a buyer bomb. There's a video about it. That might be it, 2100907 since it's not labeled. Okay, and in the file library as well. See if it's under follow-up systems. Buyer bomb, buyer bomb. I'll give you the ID number on it. Come on. Buyer bomb, buyer bomb, buyer bomb, buyer bomb. Maybe under lead generation. Okay, I'll have to find the ID number and mail to you because it's taking too long here for me to locate it. But yes, there is one. Now, what is it? I'll just describe it to you. It's basically houses in marketing language. See, buyers want houses. The reason we're able to control the outcome a little bit more on sellers selecting an agent is because when they get ready to sell their house, they're going to select an agent to help them 90% of the time. Okay? When a buyer wants to go buy a house, they do not need an agent until they find the home, call on the sign, and get it done that way. So they're not out there interviewing agents to go find a house with. Does that make sense? But when you book a buyer appointment, okay, and you're going to try to get a buyer, you know, in your office there or at their house and get them to sign your VIP buyer agreement, oh, heck yeah, you definitely want to try to pre-sell them before you ever show up. Okay, so language houses your ability to convince the buyer that you're the one with the houses, with the best houses, is obviously going to be a big win for you in getting that VIP buyer agreement signed with a higher commission level. Great question. But in terms of the ultimate converter, there's no buyer bomb like that. But you can customize it to be whatever you want. So if you want it to be for buyers, then just change all the content. The video, the audio, the flyers, just change it. It's easy. Not hard. If I get bored one day, I'll go in there and I'll mock one up, give everybody a template for it, and you can go out and get another one, you know, for another $199 a month, and use it for buyers if you want. If there's enough demand in the program for that, I'll do it. Okay, so you can email me and tell me if that's something that you guys want. I'll spend some time on it. Good question, though. I like that. I'm just pissed that I can't find that buyer box. I know it's in here. I got a whole PowerPoint on it. I did it about 2 years ago at a conference and wrote it all up. So I'll have to do some research and find it. Forgive me, I can't get the ID number for you and the video name for it, but it's there.
Christian,
All right, let's go back.
Christian and Nathan say try ID 465.
For try ID 465. Okay, there you go. So that should be easy for everybody to do. Try ID 465. Maybe that's it. See, there, you ask enough questions there, you get the answers from some people. Oh, you know what? It's probably under VIP buyer systems. Let's check it out. Platinum VIP buyer systems. Category link. There it is. See there? I forgot about our Platinum VIP buyer systems category link. Now, just so you'll know, Andrea, I created all these category links. Every one of these category links I created. And all these materials that you see in the categories, I uploaded them all personally. So it's so much of it, I can't remember where I put everything. So here it is, the buyer bomb, buyer pre-sale system, ID 465. You'll be a little bit disappointed. It doesn't look like the ultimate converter. It's more strategy than anything, marketing language. But again, if there's enough demand for that, maybe I'll get with HB in there and we can put a buyer bomb together or something like that. Just haven't had a lot of requests for it. All right. We got time for one more question here, Andrew.
Well, that's good. We have one more left from Nathan. If the DK flyers are being mailed, would they all be mailed in one package or over a few weeks period of time?
Good question. He already knows the answer to that. He just wants to ask. So I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to go to Kennedy Library. If you looked at the sequences there, bomb sequence, Dan Kennedy mailings, these are follow-up materials, you'll see that nowhere are all of the flyers being mailed together at one time except in one pre-sale shock and awe package before you show up for the appointment. That's when everything gets assimilated and mailed at one time. But as a follow-up system, over time, just select 2 or 3 or 4 of the mailings, put them together with your cover letter, and send them out. Okay, you can assemble it however you want to. Craig has given you some examples, okay, in these sequences here. So, but no, I wouldn't just keep mailing all of those materials at one time. It doesn't make sense to do it that way. But when I book the appointment, and I'm going on the appointment tomorrow or the next day or 3 days from now, yeah, you betcha they're going to get it all at one time, but they're going to get it, for me, they would get it via email in the Ultimate Converter. Okay, at this point. We don't have any more bombs. We used them all. The direct mail package, it's all gone. All right, well, anyway, hopefully that gives everybody an idea of how you can build trust, turn these seller prospects into come listings, even a little bit on the buyers there, a little overview of some of the things on the website. Okay, now if you haven't done so yet, get to the Schedule tab, Live Meetings, or either right here on the home page, and get registered for the Platinum Millionaire Agent Maker Conference coming up June 6th, 7th, and 8th. You know, Craig's got the super conference going on down the hall, and then we've got the platinum level event right down the hall in another conference room going on at the same time. There'll be a couple of hundred platinum members there. It's going to be probably our biggest and best event ever. Okay, with the sessions that are rolled out, you can take a look at the agenda, but go ahead and get registered for that because that room block is about to be gone. And I don't want anybody missing out on it. And the cost to get there go up over time, so don't wait till the last minute to book your thing. Get registered, though. It's important that you register so that I'll know if you're coming. So I can tell Ruth whether to print materials for you or not and have a USB stick with all of the materials on there for you. Now, understand, when we have guest speakers like Nathan Clark and Francois McKay and Francis Lavoie and Jay Macklin and Tim Johnson and Mark Gastineau and all these other, Wally Kerr and all these other great members that get up and share things with them, their materials typically don't make it onto the coaching site. The only way to get them is to be at the conference. Okay? So you can't say, hey, I want Wally's PowerPoint from such and such. Got to be at the conference to get that stuff. That's his. Okay? It's not Craig's, it's his. So it'd be up to him whether he sends it to you or not. He's not going to turn around and send it out to 200 different people. So if you want it, get to the conference or get it on the CD or USB stick. So you get to miss out on those things if you're not there, and we don't want you to do that. All right, so with that, it's going to wrap up our program for today. I want to thank everybody for jumping on it. It's a lot of fun talking about pre-selling prospects and generating come list needs and building trust, the strategies to do that, as well as the tools that you got access to make that happen. And if you want to, get that ultimate converter and customize that bad boy for you, just go to marketproofrealestate.com. Take advantage of that. You're welcome to. HPN will help you guys out with that. They're just a partner of the program on that system. And Craig gave me a thumbs up to give them a thumbs up to build that out a few years ago, and it's been a big win for everyone since. Okay, so that's marketproofrealestate.com. All right. Thanks a lot, Andrea, for your time. We're going to get back and sell some houses. We'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and have a wonderful afternoon.